Good morning, hello, and welcome to This Date in History, also known as TDH. This show is all about the events that occurred to date in years past, both recognized by actual historians, but mainly things we personally find intriguing enough for us to bring to you. The sources of this information come from the Smart Device application, Today in History, What Happened Today in History, Historical Calendar, and the website onthisday.com. For links to those sources, the music, and anything else potentially interesting, check the underbar in the description below. Anyway, I am Alexander, and I am joined by the great, legendary man, the myth, the legend.
Golden Loon.
Yes. Blessed are we to have him in our presence. Anyway, today is Sun's Day, also known as Sunday, October 30th, 2022.
One day.
Mm-hmm. And what are we doing today?
Carving turkey, pumpkins. We can carve up a turkey. Yeah, next month.
Okay. Speaking of which, though, we got to probably go to Stater to see what they got, over there for pre.
Oh yeah. You're absolutely right. So, now's the time.
Yeah. Anyway, let's jump on into the history, shall we? On this date, October 30th, in the year 637, Antioch surrendered to the Muslim forces under Rashidun Caliphate after the Battle of Iron Bridge.
Okay. Iron Bridge. That sounds ominous.
Oh yeah, it does. It's interesting. You look back in the old days, there was a battle of the tulips, the battle of the oak tree, and then now we have the battle of Stalingrad. Battles back then were a lot less extreme sounding.
Okay. It's not like you're doing a George Carlin bit. It sounds like
somewhat. I mean, there's the Battle of Iron Bridge, Operation Overlord.
Yeah.
What sounds more ominous? Anyway, we got a historic event here in 1077. Holy Roman Emperor Henry IV gave the district of Stavoren to the Bishop of Utrecht, Conrad, his former tutor. Oh, that's cool.
I love that. Gave it to him, huh?
Yeah. He just out of the kindness of his heart.
Yeah.
Oh. And then 1137, Battle of Rignano, between Ranulf of Apulia and Roger II of Sicily. Okay. Moving on up into 1502, another historic event, Vasco da Gama. I remember that name. I haven't heard that name in a long time, Vasco da Gama.
Never heard it.
Returned to Calicut, India for the second time. Yeah, Vasco da Gama was an explorer.
Oh.
And Portuguese explorer. He was the first European to explorer to reach India by sea, helping to establish Portugal as a colonial power and changing the previous dependence Europe had on trade over land.
Wow, he's pretty major.
Major.
Yeah.
Yes.
Never heard of him.
I forgot all the information, but that name is in my mind for a reason.
Vasco da Gama.
Yep, Vasco da Gama. Moving on up here, another historic event. 1629, King Charles I gave the Bahamas to Sir Robert Heath.
Just gave him the Bahamas, yeah.
Just out of the kindness of his heart.
Yeah.
I mean, he maybe even used his beard, because he has a pencil head.
Yeah.
No, if you look, see, here's the lead. Here's the shaven part of the pencil. You just put put his head upside down on a wooden stick. It's a pencil. He's probably signing with his chin.
The first governor of California was given the land by whatever king. I don't remember all the history, but and he was given thousands and thousands of miles. I mean, he went down to San Clemente and beyond all this. Probably just gave it to him for whatever he did. He just gave him that land.
Sounds like Spain.
Could be.
Because Mexico was owned by Spain at one point.
Yeah.
And we didn't get it until after the whole Spanish-American War thing, I believe.
Yeah.
I think that all that land that we got was because we had Santa Anna, which is Mexico's greatest general,
right,
as well as their sitting president. I did not know he was actually the president of Mexico when he went to the Alamo.
I didn't know that. No.
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe. I might be wrong. I believe he was the sitting president of Mexico.
He's still a general then. I thought that was the whole point.
He's a president and general.
Okay, so he's doing both, you think?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, back in the old days.
Check that out, would you?
Yeah, back
Just
in the old.
For a second.
Yeah. Let's see here. Was Santa Anna presidency? Let's see here. Antonio Lopez de Santa Anna. Let's see here. Rebellion against the Mexican, blah, blah, blah. Absentee president, 1833 through 35. There's a lot of things here. It's going to require some research. I was just trying to do an easy thing to see, if his presidency was within the year of the Alamo.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
but anyway, hey, I provide a challenge to the viewers. If you can answer this question for the Golden Loon and for me, that would be fantastic.
Now here's a local note, so it's not going to interest everybody. But in California, we have winds that reverse that come off the desert and blow out to the ocean. They're called what is commonly called here Santa Ana winds.
Yes.
Not the correct name. It's actually called Santana winds, which was an Indian name, winds from the mountains.
Huh.
So, but it was so close to Santa Ana that it just got picked up, and now the term is Santa Ana winds.
Well, that's unfortunate because, I would prefer it to be called the Santana winds because then, I can play guitar like Carlos Santana.
Oh,
you know.
Moving on.
Moving on. Let's see here. We got 1772. Captain James Cook arrived with ship Resolution in Cape Town, South Africa. Huh. I'm wondering what that has to do with anything. Like ship Resolution. What is ship Resolution? 1772. Let's see here. 1772 ship Revolution. Wait, Revolution? Resolution. What was I saying? Revolution. Yeah. Resolution. Cape Town. Let's see here what this is. Oh, that's the name of the ship.
Oh, okay.
So,
okay.
with the ship Resolution.
Okay.
So he arrived on the ship named Resolution in Cape Town, South Africa. Okay. James Cook, another famous explorer.
Yeah.
We all know him.
Yeah, we do.
1784, Napoléon Bonaparte admitted to the elite École Militaire in Paris, the start of his military career.
Oh.
1784. So that's 16 years before 1800s, and the Napoleonic Wars were like the early 1800s to like 1815 or something, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
So, but that's interesting. So this is when that's how it all started.
Yeah.
We got another historic event here in 1866. Jesse James's gang robs a bank in Lexington, Missouri, for $2,000. Which what is that?
Then.
Yeah, 1866, 2000. Let's see here, 1866, $2,000 would be $35,334.34 today.
I would have thought it would have been more than that.
Actually, it has the equivalent purchasing power of about $37,334.34 today, which is an increase of 35,000. Okay, so that's so the first number I read was the additional value on top of the 2,000.
Okay.
So now it's 37,000, not 35.
Okay.
Because it was 2,000, so 35 to 37 is 2,000.
Yeah.
So
back in the gold rush days, you could take a $5 gold piece and go buy the very best suit that you could find for a $5 gold piece. Today,
wow.
You can take with gold at $1,500. You could take that same $5 gold piece and go buy the very best suit you can buy. It's the same value. So gold basically has kept up with inflation, is what it's saying.
Well, that's not good. We should be on a gold standard. So.
Well, yeah, that's another topic.
In 1873, P.T. Barnum Circus' Greatest Show on Earth debuted in New York City. This guy, I don't know what to think of him. His quote, "A sucker is born every minute."
Yeah.
It's true, but that doesn't mean you have to take advantage of people like that. I mean, come on, if we're gonna be better as people, we got to start acting as such. We can't just act on impulse like this. People like P.T. Barnum, despite bringing joy and entertainment to millions of children, the way he did it was really, really shady, and I just can't support it.
Well, I don't know. You're taking that out of context. But you gotta realize everybody knows P.T. Barnum. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Everybody
knows Adolf Hitler,
a circus
too.
guy. Well, yeah, but he was mainly bringing joy to people around the country. But he was a businessman too, so he had to make money. Yeah. So not all of it's perfect. I don't look at him like that.
Things need to change. Moving on up into 1888, Ndebele King Lobengula granted Cecil Rhodes Mashon land 100 pounds per month. Okay, I guess he's just giving him 100 pounds a month.
I guess.
Yeah. Huh. He's a British businessman and imperialist politician. Cecil Rhodes, the receiver of the 100 pounds a month. So.
Okay.
Anyway,
out there want to give me 100 pounds of funds? Feel free.
Well, I mean, pounds over here are different than pounds in Britain. You know. 1899, British Morning Post reporter Winston Churchill reached Cape Town. Oh, that's right. So he was part of the news and everything. That's right.
Oh, Post reporter, huh?
Yeah, Morning Post reporter.
Yeah.
Which, that reminds me, I think I've told you about this, Benito Mussolini, the inventor of fascism,
Yeah.
before he went crazy and started getting into politics and all that stuff, he used to be an editor for a socialist newspaper.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
I remember that somewhere back there, yeah.
Moving on up into 1905,
there you go.
October Manifesto, the Russian Tsar Nicholas II granted civil liberties and accepted the first Duma, or parliament.
Yeah.
Yep.
He was the last one.
Mm-hmm. The last Tsar. Well, the last one in history. There might be a new one here with Putin coming up soon. Who knows with how things play out.
I don't think they'll end up with a czar.
He's trying to.
Yeah.
So, but at that same time, 1905 as well, George Bernard Shaw, I remember that name.
Sure.
His play Mrs. Warren's Profession premiered in New York City.
I've heard of him, but not the play.
Yeah. And he kind of looks like Alonzo Hawk from Herbie Rides Again.
Don't know that.
Let's
I'll take your word for it.
Well, Herbie Rides Again, Alonzo Hawk. He's the antagonist. Let's see.
Is that any relation to Herbie the Lug Bug?
Yeah, it is. No, it's
is
the
it?
movie.
Oh.
Yeah, see? He's right here. He's in
Okay.
53. Herbie the Love Bug.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I have the movie.
Yeah.
Herbie Rides Again. Right here. You see?
Yeah.
You don't remember that movie? I have it on VHS. Used to watch it all the time. But see,
I don't. Yeah, I remember Herbie the Love Bug. I probably saw it with you sometime, but I don't remember it.
Okay, you see this face here?
Yeah. No, I see what you're talking about now.
No, look, it's the same beard, you know, everything. It looks
Very similar.
Actually, Alonzo's beard is a little shorter, but still, you know. Anyway, let's move on up into 1917. The British government gave final approval to Balfour Declaration. So what is the Balfour Declaration? You know what? I can just click that. That just tells me about Arthur Balfour, so I don't care about him. Balfour Declaration. It was a public statement issued by the British government in 1917 during the First World War, announcing its support for the establishment of a national home for the Jewish people in Palestine.
Ooh.
In Palestine, not Israel.
Yeah.
In Palestine. I keep telling you, Israel's taking over, which was then an Ottoman region with a small minority of Jewish population. So they're coming in and taking over.
Currently,
I keep telling you. No, since then.
Okay, the what do you call it? World Order. They set up Palestine or Israel as a special land for them, and they did take it away from Palestine.
Yeah.
You're absolutely
and
right.
And then they
There's no question
expanded
about
more
that.
and more and more.
In fact, we as a country were against it initially.
We should still be.
But you can't look at that because the Jews say, "Wait, we were here way before Palestine. You can go back to Christ."
No, they were not. Well,
Okay,
they were, but it was not Israel.
Okay.
I got to show you that video again, but it was
I've
vastly different. No, you got to retain the information if we're going to have this discussion. So, anyway, speaking of bald Italian guy, 1922, Benito Mussolini formed government in Italy. We were just talking about him.
Yeah.
And yesterday,
today, wow.
Yeah, on this date in 100 years ago, my short. I'm.
There you go, 1922. Whoa, man, yeah, look at that.
100 years ago on
today,
this date.
He established that damn
Fascist.
Yeah.
And then look at the world today. How things,
We're right back at it.
Yeah. Man, I really got to start doing my shorts because that would have been great. 100 years ago on this date.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I need you to start working on the father-sonisms.
Okay.
So, we'll talk about that after the show.
Yeah.
And that's a little taste of what's going on in the background, audience. Anyway, moving on up into 1938, a radio broadcast of H.G. Wells' The War of the Worlds, narrated by Orson Welles, allegedly caused a mass panic. Oh, that happened on this date too? Wow, this date is incredible.
That is actually amazing, which you know all about, I'm sure. But people bought his story. They thought we were being invaded.
And see, this is why I keep saying, all the stupidity of people going on in today's world, which everybody knows, it's nothing new, because during this radio broadcast, before and after every single commercial break, because first off, they had commercial breaks.
Yeah.
If this was actually real, why would anybody be commercializing an invasion of the Earth?
Well, not only that, but they said it in the beginning. I don't know if they did it at every commercial, but I know they said it at the end this is a program. This isn't really happening.
You know,
It's
they
not
said
true.
it at the beginning and end of every single commercial
Wow.
break.
Wow.
So you're sitting there
People
listening
shouldn't
to
want
it.
to listen.
Yeah, no, people just, they're just dumb. And I remember hearing one story about in this small town, this one guy started shooting at the water tower because it looked like one of the tripods.
Well, people just got it in their head, and then when they went to a break, they're just thinking about it, or if there's people in the room listening to the show at the same time, they're talking about it, so they don't hear what else is said, and then it comes back on, then they're glued.
Yeah.
Oh my God, oh my God. So it's not that they're just stupid, they just weren't listening.
Well, it's not just that. No, it is because they're stupid. Because if they stopped and thought for 1 second, hey, aliens are invading the Earth, why is the broadcast being interrupted by commercials? That makes no sense.
Yeah.
This is a global catastrophe.
Yeah.
There would not be commercials.
But the only thing that stopped them, wasn't it just our viruses? They caught a virus.
Oh, yeah.
That's how we got it. Nothing would stop them.
Which, that entire premise is idiotic, because you'd think a spacefaring, civilization would know about, microbiologies,
Well, yeah, you
So-
can't break it down like that.
Well, you can. So, anyway, let's
Yeah, you
move
can,
on up.
yeah.
1939, the USSR and Germany agreed on partitioning Poland. Adolf Hitler deported Jews.
Well, you talk about a virus.
Yeah, good, analogy right
Segue.
there. Yeah, virus. This guy. Yeah, pathogen. But yeah, no, they agreed to split Poland in half. So ever since 1939, when the Nazis and the Soviet Union went in and invaded Poland,
Yeah.
Poland was under the boots of one thing or another, and then even after 1945, after the Germans
Yeah.
lost, it was still Soviet controlled
Yeah.
until the late 80s,
Under the
early
boot of-
90s.
Yes, under the boot of the Soviets. Absolutely right.
Could you imagine living an entire life in there?
But that's what capitulation gets you.
They didn't capitulate. Well, they didn't have a choice. They got destroyed.
No, not them, but I'm saying the rest of the world could have said, no way, no how.
Yeah, and there was a time where France actually could have gone in and stopped Germany, but that's remind me. I got to show you that video, because I believe it's the guy who ended up being the leader of Vichy France. The Nazi collaborator. The southern France here,
Yeah.
because I've talked to you about northern France was occupied by
you
Germany,
did, yes,
but
yes.
southern France wasn't. It was a puppet government.
Okay.
That guy actually was in a position militarily to do something against Germany while they were invading Poland, because all of their stuff, focus was in Poland. France could have gone straight to Berlin, and taken them out.
Now I have a question. De Gaulle, he kind of came in after World War II and all of that.
De Gaulle was during the whole thing.
He was fighting them. He wasn't
De
capitulating,
Gaulle,
right?
no. Charles de Gaulle was the president of France.
Yeah.
And he
Afterwards, I thought.
No, during.
Oh,
Before,
okay.
during, and after.
Okay.
And it was him who started the whole French underground, the resistance, because from his government in exile in the UK, he was broadcasting radio signals back to the French, being like, keep fighting. I'm not there with you in physics, but I'm there with you in spirit. Keep going. You have our support. We're doing things over here. Keep going, And because of that, it allowed things like Operation Overlord to really be successful, because it was the French, the fighters and everything, going in there, blowing up the train tracks, knocking down the telephone wires, cutting the transmission cables and everything, doing everything possible to stem, communications and, counterattacks and everything from the Germans and all
And
that stuff.
simultaneously, the biggest capitulator of all was the British Prime Minister. He was one of the main reasons why.
Yeah, Neville Chamberlain.
Yeah. Neville Chamberlain. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you mean Brandon? Anyway, let's get back on track here. In 1940, One Night in the Tropics, the first film for Abbott and Costello, premiered in Paterson, New Jersey.
Hey, Abbott. Who's on first?
Yep. 1940 as well, Cole Porter's musical Panama Haiti opened at 46th Street Theater in New York City, running for 501 performances.
Long time.
Yeah. Wonder why they didn't close out at 500 even. They just had to get that one last.
One extra one.
Yeah. In 1943, Molotov-Eden Cordell Hull Accord over operations at UN. Huh. Never heard of that. What is that? Let's see here. Copy, paste. There's I'm not seeing any easy things, any wiki about this. Um, about the England, the Channel Tunnel, I guess.
Oh, okay.
1990, England and France complete tunnel.
Yeah, okay.
Well, actually, no, that's a different event.
Yeah, that's way later.
Yeah. Yeah, so, huh. Well, that's another challenge for the audience members if you can figure out what this was. And let's see, is there a wiki? Moscow Conference, I guess, 1943? Yeah.
Okay.
Between the major allies of World War II took place during October 18th. No, that's not today. So to November 11th, 1943. Okay. Okay, so this has to do with the war. And the UN. This was before the UN, so I guess this is like the formation of the UN.
Could be.
The United Nations.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that's it. I'm going to add this link into
Well, it
the
makes
other
sense.
Yeah.
At that time.
Yeah, let's move on up here. 1944, Aaron Copland's ballet score Appalachian Spring premiered in Washington, D.C. with Martha Graham dancing lead role. Okay. And at the same time, here we go, Anne Frank was deported from Auschwitz to Belsen.
I don't understand how she learned being deaf and dumb.
That's not...
Oh, that's not...
That's Helen Keller.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh,
Anne Frank was a Jew.
Oh, you're
That was,
right. Okay. Oh, you're right. My bad.
I'm just like, wait, what?
Yeah.
No, Jewish victim of the and the diarist of the Holocaust,
yes,
the diary of
yes.
Anne Frank.
Yeah.
Now she's not the one you're going water, you know.
But that brings up the same question: how did she learn, Helen Keller?
Yeah, that's astounding.
That's amazing. You have no
blind,
learning.
deaf, and dumb. You know, like how do you learn how to speak?
No sound, no sight.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just communicate.
Yeah.
How do you learn how to communicate?
And I think she went on to be an author or something. Like she did something.
I don't know, but she just to leave any kind of normalcy is amazing.
Yeah. 1 year later, 1945, Branch Rickey signed Jackie Robinson to a Montreal Royals.
Hoorah! Wait a minute, the Montreal Royals.
A Montreal Royals.
Oh.
So I don't know the Montreal Royals or what. But
Branch Rickey, signs Jackie to a Montreal. What's the Montreal Royals?
maybe the Montreal
came to the Brooklyn
Royals.
Dodgers. Maybe he was a minor league or something. Then brought him up.
I don't know.
I don't know either. That's weird. I've never
Yet
heard
another
of that.
challenge for the audience. Help us figure that out.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got a music premiere in 1947. Darius Milhaud's Third Symphony, Hymnus Ambrosianus, premiered in Paris.
Symphony. Third Symphony.
Third Symphony. Yep. In 1949, Lost in the Stars by Maxwell Anderson and Kurt Weill, based on the novel Cry the Beloved Country by Alan Patton, opened at Music Box Theater in New York City for 281 performances. Okay.
Yeah. It's not 500, but you know.
No. Well, it's 281, so
Yeah.
they did the same thing. They just
Yeah.
squeeze one more out, 1 year later, 1950, Pope Pius XII witnessed the miracle of the sun while at the Vatican. What is the miracle of the sun? 1950. Let's see here. Miracle of Sun, 1950. Not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 4 times, the banner appearance was on the day of the definition of the dogma. It was a heavenly gift, a heavenly smile, a heavenly thank you for what he did for the church, our faith in the Blessed Virgin Mary. Okay, that doesn't explain everything.
It doesn't explain anything.
So I'm just going to add this wiki into the underbar once again.
Yeah.
So anybody who's interested in this particular topic, they can look for that, into that themselves.
Tell us what it's about.
Yeah, I would love to do that, but we gotta spitball the history here. We can't focus on 2 more. Oh, this is one just for you.
Yeah.
1952, Clarence Birdseye sold first frozen peas.
Yeah. Yeah.
You and your peas.
Yeah.
And the Birdseye is the inventor of the microwave bags, the blow-up bags, that we use.
But Birdseye, I think the woman that took over Post, she came in and really put a lot of money into that and made it
Into
survive.
what it is today.
Well, survived. And she was the first woman CEO, unheard of at the time, and she took it over from her father. And she was the one that ended up owning, where's Trump's deal in Florida?
Mar-a-Lago?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
She lived in Mar-a-Lago.
Oh.
Yeah. But she is the one that envisioned it. His problem was he figured out how to freeze food and everything like that. Very few people had a refrigerator.
Oh.
So it was a problem.
Oh. Yeah.
But it was a vision. She saw, and Poe saw it as a vision of the future and came in and swooped in and put a bunch of money in it. And it survived. Otherwise, it wouldn't have.
Well, I just want to thank you, Clarence Birdseye, for providing, vegetables that I don't have to worry about storing properly, cooking, and all that stuff. All I gotta do is just buy a bag, stick it in the freezer, then the microwave, then I'm good.
Frozen veggies are way better than canned.
Oh, yeah.
Way better.
Way better. Well, fresh veggies are top number one.
Oh, they're the best.
That's not even a contest. Yeah. If you're going to have a choice, between, canned or frozen, get frozen. So, if you have a fridge. 1953, Dr. Albert Schweitzer and General George Marshall won the Nobel Peace Prize. Okay. I don't know how a general could get anything involving peace because he's ordered people to die and kill people himself, but whatever, that's far from peaceful. But then again, Obama, or Obunga, got a peace prize despite, bombing a wedding, but okay. 1957, Dmitri Shostakovich 11th Symphony premiered in Moscow. Okay. And 1961, Soviet Party Congress unanimously approved a resolution removing Stalin's body from Lenin's tomb in Red Square as part of de-Stalinization efforts. Now, I did not know he was in Lenin's tomb.
Well, it was his tomb, yeah. No.
Lenin's tomb.
Yeah. But Stalin, they took him out, and then it became Lenin's tomb. But they didn't want any recognition of Stalin.
No, Lenin's tomb was there already. Lenin was before Stalin.
I have it backwards? Okay.
No, Lenin started the Soviet Union back in 1918.
Okay, my bad. I got the two of them backwards.
Yeah, no, Vladimir Lenin started the Soviet Union, and he did not want Stalin to have any position of power. Lenin himself put Stalin in that secretarial position.
Yeah.
Which,
ended up giving him a great deal of power.
Yeah, well, because Stalin then, was able to direct who could show up, when and where and everything, and he just scheduled everybody away, and he took power.
Yeah.
So, he was really smart.
Yeah.
And, he grew up from peasantry.
Yeah.
Literally, he grew up from peasantry.
And very vicious.
But yeah, no, so Lenin, is
you're right. Okay, I got it backwards. I'm not rolling today. I got my facts backwards on a number of things.
Well, and it provides good conversation.
Yeah, absolutely does.
Anyway, moving on up to 1963, Sandy Koufax won National League MVP award.
Yeah.
All right. Finally, something you know about.
Can't mix that up.
2 years later, 1965, British model Jean Shrimpton caused a sensation at Derby Day at the Melbourne races, wearing a white shirt dress 4 inches above the knee. Oh, good heavens.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
They didn't ban her?
Probably did. I don't know. Caused a stir, though.
Still news today, kind of weird.
Yeah. 1967, Dolly Parton released her debut single with Porter Wagoner, The Last Thing on My Mind. What is it, a hairbrush? Look at that.
Yeah, well.
Comb that thing, lady, come on. And your neck is too thin. 1968, Jack Lynch, Irish Prime Minister, Taoiseach, met with Harold Wilson, which was then the Prime Minister of Britain in London, calling for the ending of partition as means to resolve the unrest in Northern Ireland. They gotta, Britain really has got to let go of the rest of Ireland and Scotland. Those two are the first countries to fall to the British, colonization boot.
Yeah.
So, and I support a free Scotland, a free Ireland, all that stuff. Moving on up into 1970, Northern Ireland Prime Minister James Chichester Clark met with British Home Secretary Reginald Mowling to discuss matters related to reforms and security. Obviously during the Troubles.
Yeah.
So, which wouldn't happen if you fucking let them go. Stop being so colonial-minded, Britain. Opening of the Bosphorus Bridge, 1973. The Bosphorus Bridge in Istanbul, Turkey, or better known as Constantinople, connecting the continents of Europe and Asia over the Bosphorus Strait for the first time.
Wow, I thought that was the Golden Gate Bridge.
No.
That's what I thought it was.
I said the Bosphorus Bridge.
No, I know you did. Before you started reading it, I'm looking at the picture going, oh, wow, look at that Golden Gate Bridge. And,
Yeah.
really rural. but no,
you know, no,
it's
you
not
can
anywhere
tell.
near that.
No,
yeah.
no, like what are these? The pylons are completely different.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
no, the Golden Gate has like like 3 or 4.
Yeah, yeah. No, I get it
things.
now. Yeah.
So, but that would be interesting. Seeing how San Francisco looked back then. you
Yeah.
know. But at the same time, 1973, we got some sports history for you. Tom Seaver became first non-20 game winner to win the Cy Young Award.
Huh.
1 year later, 1974, the Rumble in the Jungle.
Yeah.
Muhammad Ali knocks out George Foreman in the 8th round, and Kinshasa Zaire regained world heavyweight boxing title with famous rope-a-dope tactic. Rope-a-dope.
Yeah. There's claims that they drugged Foreman in his water thing or whatever. This a bunch of rumors, but that was the rumor going of the day, because he was George Foreman was a monster then, and he just didn't have it that night for whatever reason.
Maybe. That same time, 1974, California Angel Nolan Ryan threw the fastest recorded pitch at 100.9 miles an hour. Yeah, you told me that guy was a cannon.
Oh, man, what a fastball.
I would not want to be a batter. So
You don't want to be hit by that, that's for sure.
death. 1979, Tamla/Motown released Stevie Wonder's documentary film soundtrack Journey Through the Secret Life of Plants.
Now, I'll give you a personal note here. He used to be known as Little Stevie Wonder when he was real young, probably a kid.
Yeah,
Little Stevie Wonder.
Yeah,
And finally
I-
dropped the little.
I remember reading about that.
Yeah.
Yep. 1987, Faith's debut album by George Michael was released. All right. And 365 days later, in 1988, Beth Daniel won the Nick Shirley Ladies Cup U.S.-Japan Team Golf Championship. Okay. Some more sports history. In 1988 as well, Brazilian McLaren driver Ayrton Senna won Japanese Grand Prix at Suzuka. His record 8th Grand Prix win of the season, clinches first Formula One World Drivers' Championship. First Formula One World Championship.
Yeah.
So that can't be the first?
That's his first.
Okay. When was first Formula One race? Was in 1946, after the war ended.
Yeah.
So, yeah. The FIA, Federation Internationale de l'Automobile, standardized a set of rules that started a championship for drivers. The first Formula One race took place in Silverstone, England in 1950. So it took 4 years of work, but it got done.
To finally get.
And look at the
race.
cars.
Oh yeah.
Those little cigar things.
No, I remember them looking like that. Obviously not that old, but that basic shape they had for years.
Yeah.
Back in the 50s, I remember when in the Indy 500, that's the type of round car they had.
Mm-hmm.
They're all round like that.
And now they're all these like aircraft looking things
with
and
aerodynamics to hold them down to the ground in the back. They're foils.
there's something astonishing seeing, a car like that just like sticking to the road and like making a turn so quick that other cars would just flip. They just suck to the
It's
road.
that foil. That
Yeah.
foil pushes them down to the ground. The faster they go, the harder it pushes. So
Yeah.
that's the key.
That's it's like a wild mouse coaster,
Yeah.
It's just you stick to it. Like there is no embankments. You just like.
Oh, they have embankments.
Yeah, they do. But like what a wild mouse
Yeah,
coaster
yeah,
is,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
The straight up, just so
Yeah.
rigid. Okay, moving on up into 1994, Thomas nicely reported a bug in Intel's Pentium processor on the internet. That's not good. So like an internet bug. So coding problem, like maybe people weren't having, getting access to the internet or something. I don't know.
No idea.
1997, Argentine soccer star Diego Maradona announced his retirement from football on his 37th birthday. So we're going to be talking
Sounds
about
like the loss of a great one. I don't know, but that's what it sounds
it.
like.
It says here he's a football legend.
Yeah.
So
he retired and they lost him.
Yep. So I think we're going to be talking about him again in the birth section because it says here on his 37th birthday.
Oh, that's true.
So.
Yeah.
Then we got a film premiere in 2003, Wicked, premiered on Broadway at the Gershwin Theater, starring Idina Menzel and Kristen Chenoweth. I've heard of Wicked.
Have you?
Yeah, I haven't seen. I've heard of the play, and that's about the Wicked Witch of the West and Wizard of Oz.
Oh,
Wicked.
okay.
So, 2011, The Twilight Saga: Breaking Dawn Part 1, based off the book by Stephanie Meyer, directed by Bill Condon, starring Kristen Stewart and Robert Pattinson, premiered at the Rome Film Festival. Sparkly vampires, ooh, whatever.
Yeah.
People, just eat it up. 2011 as well, Czech tennis star Petra Kvitova defeated Victoria Azarenka of Belarus 7-5, 4-6, 6-3 in the WTA Championship decider in Istanbul, Turkey, or better known as Constantinople. Mm-hmm. So I gotta start reading it as Constantinople because I don't view it as Istanbul, I view it as Constantinople. 2012, Walt Disney purchased Lucasfilm, and that's the very instant I flat out disregarded anything Star Wars. And its rights to Star Wars and Indiana Jones franchises for $4.05 billion.
Yeah.
So
$1 billion.
Were you just serious?
I just did that.
Oh my God! I am shocked that you even realize that.
Well, that's why do you think I said it? $1 billion.
I am in awe.
And I've got to say though that I no longer watch Star Wars movies. I haven't for years. So they deteriorated in my eyes.
Yeah, well, this man is the one who got me into Star Wars. He has, we still have the original trilogy on VHS.
Yeah.
And when I was a kid, got me into it and everything. And now we're talking, early 90s or like mid 90s or something, when I dressed up as Darth Vader.
Yeah.
None of the kids had any clue who I was.
We went to school because everybody dressed in costume. They had a whole deal. And nobody, who are you, Alex? Who are you? I'm Darth Vader. Who's that?
Now, all the parents,
come back. All the parents were awesome.
Yeah.
They hadn't seen anything for Darth Vader for years.
Because Star Wars came out in the 70s, and that last episode, came out in the early 80s?
I'm not sure.
Because I think episode 1, it wasn't even episode 1, it was just called Star Wars: The Phantom Menace, and that was it.
And then it backed, then it backed up.
But see, that should explain. George Lucas already had everything envisioned because they spoke about, it was your father's weapon. He was a Jedi, the Jedi Order with the Old Republic, Clone Wars, yada yada yada. Which we got all of that in the second trilogy, episode 1 through 3.
But that's what blew my mind is no kids recognized who you were. Yeah. No idea who Darth Vader was.
I was a Star Wars fan after the originals and before all the new ones. I've always been a tween. My whole life, I've always been a tween.
You're a tweener.
Like, my whole family, everyone's either too old or too young for me to hang out when I was growing up.
Yeah, that's true.
Never had any friends. I was always,
well, you had friends.
Well, kind of.
But you didn't have any family.
Yeah.
Age appropriate.
Yeah, so I was always, my whole life, I've always been alone. One way or another. Anyway, moving on up to 2016, Slovak tennis star Dominika Cibulková defeated Germany's Angelique Kerber 6-3, 6-4 to win the WTA Finals title decider in Kallang, Singapore. 2017, actor Kevin Spacey issued apology after actor Anthony Rapp accused him of inappropriate sexual behavior when he was 14. Wow, really? Okay.
Kind of a sleazeball.
Yeah. 2017 as well. I was gonna say, why don't people just speak up when it happens? Why do you wait many years?
Well, there's a lot of reason for that, and then there's suppression. People force the memory of it. There's all kinds of stuff. So.
Yeah, but then
you buy into the threats, and I'm not saying him necessarily, but someone that's a pedophile is really good at suppressing whoever they're victimizing into not telling anybody and get them to buy into that. So I mean, there's all kinds. You can't say why didn't you?
True. Yeah. It's just weird for me because I stand up immediately. I'm a fighter. I know. You want to try to suppress me, you're just going to be in a world of hurt from my end.
Yeah.
I ain't going to suffer. Tell you that much. 2017 Kenyan election return. President Uhuru Kenyatta declared the winner with 38% turnout. The son of the actual founder of Kenya, I believe. Yeah. Jomo Kenyatta. Kenya's first. Yeah, Jomo Kenyatta. I believe I was talking to you about this yesterday or whatever. Maybe I was talking to somebody else. But Jomo Kenyatta, right here, founding father of Kenya.
Okay, yeah.
So he created Kenya. Kenyatta, Kenya.
Yeah.
Named after him. So.
Kind of cool to have a country named after you.
Yeah, it is. But then now you have Uhuru Kenyatta. Now we're getting into a royalty type situation. Not good.
Yeah.
Anyway, at the same time, 2017, President Trump's former campaign chairman, Paul Manafort, and associate Rick Gates were indicted on fraud charges. Advisor George Papadopoulos pled guilty to lying to the FBI. This sounds like a bunch of BS right here.
And it is, especially the Papadopoulos, that was proven all false, that he was set up.
Yeah, anything involving recent politics, this is, especially with this source here being a leftist, I mean, it has all the signs. It sounds like they're just trying to alter the way history is written for their own benefit.
Yeah.
I mean, history was written by the victor, so. Anyway, 2019, Twitter head Jack Dorsey announced it will no longer take political ads. Bullshit. Bullshit.
Tell me what you really think about it.
Did you hear about, I was talking to you earlier, we were having coffee, I asked you if you heard about all this Twitter stuff involving Elon Musk and everything?
Yeah.
A lot of the companies and stuff who do advertisements on Twitter,
yeah,
they're threatening to pull their advertising if he lifts the ban on Trump. Specifically, if he lifts the ban on Trump, not even whether or not he's even going to show up again, because he has his own thing now, Freedom Central or whatever it's called. So we don't even know if he's even going to come back to Twitter. Just the aspect of unbanning him, well then, I'll repeat what Tim Pool said. Sure, if you want to make yourself no longer viable, go for it.
Yeah.
Do it. Put your money with your mouth is. You want to threaten.
Here's the weird thing about it. Twitter has never made any money. They've never made a profit. And, a lot of the shareholders are going, oh, crap, we put a lot of money into this, and it's not really growing, and we're not making any money off our investments. And then the golden nugget comes along. Yahoo actually overpays for them, and they get this golden nugget dropped in their lap. They get all this money, and finally they got paid out, but they're still bitching about it.
Yeah. Did you have you seen the thing about when he walked in with the sink? Yeah. Let this sink in.
I like the humor. Yeah, I like the humor.
Yeah.
But he's already fired CEOs, CFOs, and a lot of the head stuff. So he's already fired a bunch of them.
Yeah, he said it's something about getting rid of 72% of the or 75% of the staff.
Yeah, they say it won't be that much, but they get rid of a bunch.
Yeah.
And then these yahoos there think they're entitled to their jobs. No, if you're not performing, you're gone. And that's called.
And the icing on the cake, they're saying, don't fire us because of our political opinions. Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
You're going around banning people because of their opinion, but you want to save your jobs? Fuck you. Anyway, 2020, 2 years ago, UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson announced a second 4-week lockdown for England. A piece of shit.
Yeah, he turned out to be caca.
Yeah, he is. Well, that's why I keep saying, all these people.
There's talk that he may come back when they had that big uproar. The last Prime Minister being the shortest one ever, or whatever.
Yeah, she didn't outlast a cabbage.
No.
No, seriously.
What's a cabbage?
No, like an actual, the plant, the cabbage.
Yeah.
This is it's a British thing. I just heard about this recently, but somebody's like, how long will this prime minister last? Will it last longer than a cabbage?
Oh.
That cabbage took. Yeah, the cabbage took longer to decompose than her entire term. She was outlasted by a vegetable. That's
anyway.
But no, that's why I keep saying, these dancing monkeys, the powers that be, the actual powers, are controlling, what we believe are the heads of states.
Let's move on.
So it's not political; it's truth. It's just how things are. Anyway, 2021, just last year, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees: Foo Fighters, the Goo Goos, Jay-Z, Carole King, Todd Rundgren, Tina Turner, Kraftwerk, Gil Scott-Heron, Charlie Patton, LL Cool J, Billy Preston, Randy Rhoads, and Clarence Evans. Okay.
Just to clarify, it's called the Go-Go's.
The Go-Go's? Oh, yeah. The Go-Go's. The Goo-Go's.
Goo would be appropriate. Goo-Goo.
Well, Goo-Goo is two O's, so I misread that. But I haven't heard about them, so.
Yeah. Never heard of the Go-Go's?
Maybe.
Not fans of them, but,
Anyway, before we move on to Bursts and Deaths, audience, were there any articles that grabbed your attention more than most? Anything you want us to, explain more? Anything that you want to let us know? Open up a dialogue in the comments section. Moving on to Bursts, starting us off in 1218, we have Emperor Shuikyo, the 85th Emperor of Japan, dying in 1234. Christopher Columbus, born on this date in
Oh.
1451, an Italian explorer and navigator who discovered the New World for Spain and initiated European colonization and the raping of indigenous people and murder and all that shit.
Wait, it says that? No, I don't think
No, but it's true.
so. Okay.
Born in the Republic of Genoa on or just before this date. So Christopher Columbus, actually, you want to know why he even became such a figurehead?
Why?
Because during his time, he wasn't even regarded as an explorer. The king and queen sent him away just to get rid of him.
Oh.
They were trying to kill him off. That's why they only sent him with 3 ships. And then, you don't go exploring with only 3 ships. You go with an armada.
Okay.
No, they were just trying to get rid of him. And it wasn't until more recent times, because there wasn't a lot of good PR for Italian Americans. They utilized Christopher Columbus, made the whole, not made the whole thing up, but made mountains out of molehills and made him look like this god amongst men, just so the Italians can have, a representation in the United States. It's all PR. The whole thing about Christopher Columbus is all PR to give Italian Americans, more, some kind of history involving this side of the world to cling on to.
Well,
But it's all fabrication.
I know Columbus Day is really big back in states like Providence, everything where there are big Italian populations.
But Columbus was an awful,
He also
awful
brought
man.
viruses with him.
Yeah. Well, all of the
The
Europeans did.
so-called indigenous people
Yeah, well, all the
had no immunity.
Europeans did inadvertently.
Yeah.
But then we started giving smallpox blankets to, thin out the herd and that awful, awful stuff. Then we have John Adams, 1735. He was the second U.S. president from 1797 through 1801. Only served 1 term, 4 years. Look at that. Born in Braintree, Massachusetts, dying in 1826. Well, look at that.
Yeah.
So, 2 men, polar opposites, a monster and a martyr, born on the same, birth date at least, not the same year. But anyway, we have Ezra Pound in 1885, a American poet, cantos, born in Haley, Idaho, dying in 1972.
That's a poet, don't you know it?
Yeah. We have Bill Terry, 1898, a American Baseball Hall of Fame first baseman, MLB All-Star 1933 through 35, World Series 33, National League batting champion of 1930 for the New York Giants, and manager of the New York Giants from 1932 to 41, born in Atlanta, Georgia, dying in 1989.
Never heard that.
Huh. Can't remember every player,
No.
And then just scrolling. Wow. Give me something. Come on. Okay. Diego Maradona. Hey, here we go again. This guy.
Oh, yeah.
1960. Argentine soccer forward. 91 caps. Okay, football. So not our football, but soccer football. Football. Okay, that's why you haven't heard of him.
Yeah.
91 caps. World Cup 1986. And captain. FIFA player of the 20th century. Argentinos Juniors. Napoli. Born in Buenos Aires, Argentina. Dying in 2020. I mean, we have Dmitry Muratov, 1961, a Russian journalist, Novaya Gazeta, 2021, Nobel Peace Prize, born in Kuibyshel, Russia, Soviet Union, and still alive today. Oh.
61, yeah.
Yeah, he's
60 years old.
Yeah, he's 61 years now.
Okay.
Courtney Walsh, 1962, West Indian cricket fast bowler and captain, 132 tests and 519 wickets at 24.44. Hat trick versus Austin, 1988, born in Kingston, Jamaica.
Cricket.
Yeah, his face is exactly how I feel. Like, huh? Like, what does any of that mean?
We have no clue.
No clue. No, not one
Just
iota.
words and numbers. That's all it is.
Here we go. Ivanka Trump. 1981, a U.S. businesswoman and daughter of businessman Donald Trump and his first wife. Oh, okay.
No.
Trump, daughter of Trump and his first wife.
Yeah.
So she's not his. That would be weird.
No, that's his daughter.
Yeah.
Ivana was his first wife. That's her mother.
Is she the one who's buried at Mar-a-Lago or whatever? Or no.
I wouldn't think so.
No, Trump buried one of his ex-wives or one of his.
Just recently, yeah.
Yeah.
That's Ivana Trump.
Yeah, in one of his golf courses.
Oh, I don't know about that.
No. He buried her. One of his golf courses. There's something like people are going on about. Oh, well, that's not a graveyard, but. Like, he found some kind of loophole or something.
I haven't heard that at all.
I don't think
She just died recently.
Yeah, she did. And people
fell down the stairs or something.
Yeah, and people are saying that he buried all of his documents that weren't at Mar-a-Lago with her. That's what people are saying. So, anyway, moving on into deaths, starting us off in 1459, Poggio Bracciolini, an Italian humanist who rediscovered lost classical texts, died at the age of 79. Well, I want to know what these lost classical texts were. Yeah. So that's interesting. That's way back in the day. So, and we have William Cavendish Bentinck, 1738 through 1809, 3rd Duke of Portland, Prime Minister of the United Kingdom for the Whig Party in 1783, as well as 1807 through 109. Died after an operation to remove a kidney stone at 71. That sucks.
So, let me ask this. 3rd Duke of Portland. Is there a Portland in
the United Kingdom?
The United Kingdom
There has
somewhere?
to be.
I guess so.
Portland, UK. There might be multiple. Isle of Portland, so it's an island.
Okay.
An island.
Portland.
An island in England.
Okay.
So, okay.
He was the 3rd Duke.
Yep. We have John Abbott, 1821 through 1893, 3rd Prime Minister of Canada, Conservative Party, 1891 through 92. Died of brain cancer, 72. That's not good.
Well, 72 at least he is up there.
Yeah. We have Charles Tupper, 1821 through 1915, the 6th Prime Minister of Canada, Conservative, 69-day term in 1896. That did not last long. He didn't last longer than the cabbage either. He died of heart failure at the age of 94.
Well, wait. Okay,
Yeah.
I got it, yeah.
Yeah. No, his term didn't last longer than a cabbage.
So, at one time, Canada was actually a conservative country?
For 69 days, apparently.
Well, they've had 2 conservative prime ministers right there. This one and the one before him. So at one point they voted conservatives in.
1891 through 92.
I didn't say it was consecutively.
1896. Okay, so
well, that's
4 years later.
Yeah.
So 1891 through 92, and then 4 years later he served 69 days in 1896.
Yeah.
So for a short print of time, Canada was conservative. Huh.
Well, we don't know if it still was beyond that or not, or even before. We just know this quick snapshot is all we know.
I don't know why this guy didn't change his name. Just read it before I say it.
Oh. I'm looking for her name is right at the top, yeah.
That's going to be a hard one to pass.
Oh, boo.
We have Bonar Law, 1858 through 1923, British Prime Minister, Conservative from 1923 through 23, died of throat cancer at 64. I wonder how he got that
I
cancer.
can see that, in his school days. Hey, bonehead!
Yeah.
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 That's what he's going to be called.
Bonar Law.
Yeah.
We have Pío Baroja, 1872 through 1956, Spanish Basque writer, author of over 100 novels, The Struggle for Life, Jacqueline the Adventurer, to name 2 out of 100, died at the age of 83. Dang. Don't even have a photograph of him, just a painting.
Yeah.
And then who else died on this date? Steve Allen, 1921 through 2000. A U.S. comedian, composer, and actor and TV host, Tonight Show and Steve Allen Show, died of injuries from a car accident at the age of 78.
He established late night TV before Johnny Carson.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a comedian, composer, actor, and a TV host.
He did all kinds
a lot
of
of stuff. Yeah. And we have Robert Goulet, 1933 through 2007, a U.S. Tony and Grammy Award-winning singer, stage, and screen actor, Camelot, If I Ever Would Leave You, or If Ever I Would Leave You, I don't know, died of pulmonary fibrosis at the age of 73.
Yeah, Robert Goulet, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Then we have Whitey Bulger, 1929 through 2018, a U.S. organized crime boss killed at 89 shortly after arriving at U.S. Penitentiary Hazleton in Brewston Mills, West Virginia. So murdered in prison.
Yeah.
So, which he deserves it,
Not surprising.
mafia. So.
Yeah.
And that shall conclude the show. Once again, you can check the underbar of the description for any links you may find interesting, including but unlimited to all things Omni Coalition. For your dose of past events daily, we stream every day at 10 in the morning. For all of you in all, Pacific time, that is. For all of you and all of us, I am A.O. Xander.
Golden Loon.
And you are you. And until you catch us tomorrow, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Until you see us later, toodles!